Welcome to part 7 of the Sonic Generations commentary.
Why are you still here, you stupid crocodile?
Ray hasn't found the computer room yet.
God damn it.
Exactly. There isn't one reference to that. That annoyed me more than anything in this game. Not one fucking reference to find the computer.
There's no computer in Spagonia at all.
Of course, that Professor Pickle just uses books.
Europe is surprisingly far behind when it comes to technology, isn't it? Zing!
Oh, this I love this first part of Planet Wisp. This
It looks
beautiful.
amazing. In a HD, watching this
This section by itself carries the entire case for an HD Sonic Colors port. I'm sorry, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that Planet Wisp looks good, but the modern remix is just so bland.
No,
They take
Ted,
out the best
Ted.
part of the song.
No, Wisp with a W.
Whatever.
You know what? I'll just stick to aliens.
The problem with this remix is that it sounds like they took a MIDI file of the original theme, applied a bad sound font, and just left it at that.
They took out the bitchin' bass line. That's the favorite part of it. It's like
To me, it sounds like all they did was take the original and just add a like sound effect in the background. Is this again kind of like Speed Highway? This sounds so similar to the original. It was like, what was the point? You may as well just use the
sounds
original.
similar, but they take out all the parts that made the original good.
They take out the parts that made the original good, and they change the instruments for everything else.
Yeah.
Planet Wisp Act 1, as it is normally in Sonic Colors, is my favorite track in the game, so I was really hyped up for this remix. And then they take out the bass line. It's not the great piano. I mean, I'm fine with them changing the instrument as long as like the feel of the level is the same. And then this just doesn't feel the same. And then when we get to Classic, it gets even worse.
Well, see, I actually liked the modern version. I remember when the soundtrack first came out, I was actually speaking to Ryan, and we were actually comparing notes about it. And I remember you said you really disliked it. I actually like this version. I mean, it is a bit too similar, but I actually quite enjoy it. But the classic version, I know that you were like, I hate it. You hated the classic version of this.
Yeah, the modern one has grown on me a little bit. I still hate the classic version.
It doesn't fit.
I
don't
say
think the modern version's bad at all. I think it's good.
I think.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's
I'm gonna say like I really don't mind Modern's Planet Wisp section. Honestly, though, I really wish the instruments were a little more pronounced as they were in Colors. And by the way, the color power up looks the rocket power up looks so much better in Sonic Colors than here. Ironically, it's an HD game.
I will say though that in my opinion, Planet Wisp is actually the weakest for both classic and modern. I actually found myself.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, it's the Sandopolis of this game. It's way too fucking long.
Yeah,
I don't think it's hard.
Especially
To put length in context. Okay, the first time I played modern Planet Wisp, I finished in over 10 minutes. The second time I played it, I beat it in under 5.
Huh.
It's kind of like Eggman Land in that regard, where the level design.
Oh, don't compare it to that.
A smaller scale, but it's just like the first time you play it, it's going to take so much longer than when you actually know the layout ahead of time.
I just think my issue with it is that I know everyone remembers the Wisps from
Why did they choose the Rocket Wisp of all things?
Well, see, the thing is to me is that the Wisps in Colors was so genius because that they added to the level design, but they, with the exception of a few places, they weren't 100% necessary in order to complete levels. These versions are just like you have to use just rocket all the time.
Exactly.
And then when you're in Classic, like basically in Classics, it should really just be called Spike Zone because if you aren't in Spike, you may as well not fucking bother playing the game. It's just,
more of that.
That's the only reason I hate the classic level. It's like every time I have to go to one of those ball things and move the gears, and I'm just like, I don't want to do this.
Those sections were so tedious.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's the biggest pain in the ass though with the spike power up in classic mode is that you can't change your direction in midair when you're jumping, which makes it makes the gear sections even more.
Sonic Colors had a double jump, and the double jump.
Ironically, the Rocket Wisp actually lets you change your direction while you're flying upward, which is something I don't think you were able to do in Colors itself.
No.
But the irony there is that you never need to. There's no point because there's always a trail of rings telling you exactly where to rocket, and your target is always a breakable ceiling directly above that. so you might as well just never bother.
Yeah, but I would say that I don't flat out hate this level, like both versions of this level, or think it's terrible. But I would say without question, it is totally the weakest aspect on this by far. In this
One of the
game.
problems aesthetically I have with this level is that it's too much factory and not enough Planet Wisp. I mean,
yes,
you gotta have.
It's so beautiful.
I think that if they had like sort of a half and half, or if they had like you have the beginning section, you go to the factory for a little bit, you have another outside section for some like breath of fresh air, and then you end it with another factory section. I think that would have worked better.
Like mentioned earlier, like the beginning is absolutely breathtaking. It's beautiful, and then when you get here, it's barely distinguishable from colors.
I mean, it's like slightly more colorful and a little bit sharper, but otherwise, then you're right.
Again, my issue is just length. Like, Rooftop Run was shortened so much from the Unleashed version. Like, the Unleashed version is 6 minutes long. And Planet Wisp's Act 1 in the original Sonic Colors is like a 3-minute level.
Well, that's also another thing that I think. What I think is they pretty much combined all 6 acts from Planet Wisp and Sonic Colors and just made it one large act, which is why I think it's so long.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't say that so much as they tried to include all the major set pieces as major level segments. This section is actually vaguely interesting when you think about it, but it's so pointless because it's so easy. There's actually a crusher ceiling directly above you that's slowly descending. You can push it back up with a rocket wisp. Yeah, you see, there it is. The object is to break through in that one point where the game lets you. If you need more time, you can rocket into it and push it back up, but you probably won't. The gold ring is directly above a few of these. Yeah.
I think the problem is that Sonic Colors really lacked any of sort of like major set pieces, like the going down section from Adventure Speed Highway or the truck scene from City Escape. It was more gameplay focused with the Wisps, and when you only have Rocket, you sort of lose that.
Well, because of the lesser graphics, it kind of lost what Unleashed did as far as moving from different locations mid-level. In fact, most of the acts were pretty obviously made of prefab parts or landscape pieces from other acts, etc.
Yeah, but in terms of colors, though, I think most people agree that colors kind of added the kind of wacky, outer worldy, like back that game's like. I mean, as gorgeous as Unleashed is, it's for my money, it is a bit too realistic.
Yes,
which is why colors was just like, to me. I think at this point in time, I'm actually still tied with colors and this game as my favorite 3D. I haven't played enough of this yet to for it to surpass colors. But at the moment, they're both tied as my favorite.
Oh, you know what I think about this section here? It reminds me of Hilltop Zone in a strangely pleasant kind of way.
How is that possible?
It's the color scheme. The color scheme just reminds me of Hilltop Zone for some reason. But I hate Hilltop Zone's color scheme for that game, but here it's just so much better.
Maybe because it's an alien planet?
Well, see, the one thing though, I would say the one thing that I kind of... The thing that annoys me about, say, Spike is that in colors you get a very clear, like, time limit. It's like the boost gauge on screen shows you how much time you have left, and here you don't have that.
Oh, the music does speed up as you near the time limit.
The music speeds up as you're
nearing it. It's not as helpful.
Yeah. It speeds up a bit, but most of the time I can't hear it over the actual sound effect of the spike.
Yeah.
You know what else I have to take time getting used to about the pink spear? Is that in colors you had a double jump, and in this game you don't have a double jump.
Yes.
So every time I'm playing, I'm expecting to do that second double jump, and I can't do it.
I'm sorry. Insert Beavis laugh here. Pink spear? Really?
Pink wisp, pink alien, whatever. Spike.
I hate these gear things. I hate them.
Yeah. Although I will say though,
not fun.
I played classic after modern in every single level in this because I wanted the classic cutscenes, and the problem I kept having was after playing modern, I kept on expecting classic could boost, so I'd be probably like, oh fuck, you can't boost.
Actually, it's funny. It's funny that you go into that because when I did the first 3 zones in this game, I always did classic first and then modern, and then for the last 6 zones, I went modern first and then classic.
That's actually exactly how I played it.
I knew about the different cutscenes beforehand, so after Green Hill I always did Classic second. But it was also partly because I was more interested in playing the modern version of the levels. Shocking, I know, but...
I like modern. Fuck the haters.
I prefer modern. I prefer a 3D Sonic to a 2D Sonic.
Same here. You're a kid, Ted. Kid.
Hey,
yes, I'm the only one here who was introduced to Sonic.
It's not so much preference. It's not so much preference. It's because it's something new. I mean, especially in terms
I am older than all of you, and I love modern Sonic, so fuck you.
Wait, how old are you?
Okay, well, I think I'm older than everyone but Johnny. I'm 23.
I'm 24.
Well, fuck
Bitch.
you. I like.
Ted's definitely the youngest. We're all of us. All the rest of us are over 20.
The thing about my preference for modern Sonic is because, you know, I was really most interested because this was mostly because I watched Sky Sanctuary and spoiled that entire level to myself. But I was most interested in seeing how the level design for the 3D sections would shape up. So I would always play modern first, not because of preference, but because I was just more curious about it. Whereas the classic Sonic is, well, it's classic Sonic. I mean, I've played classic Sonic for 4+ games, so I know what I'm getting into, even if it is a bit lackluster in the loyalty department.
Yeah, you've got a good point there. I mean, like, classic Sonic and the Sonic that we have right now like, the modern Sonic style that we have right now, have had about the same amount of games.
I got so dizzy just watching that.
Classic had 5. If you know 1, 2, 3, Knuckles and CD. This is really modern Sonic 3rd game. So if there was, although you know, according to Izuka, this may be the last game to feature the quote-unquote modern style of gameplay.
Really?
That's it. He said that. He said that in an interview.
Well, he said in an interview that he sees this as kind of like the final chapter in like the current Sonic saga, and he said that for the next game he wants to try something new. And well, the thing about that though is that people aren't sure if he means he wants a reboot, which he probably won't do. You know, I think the last thing this franchise needs is a reboot. But
well, this pretty much acts as a reboot to begin with, because it's going over all the things anyway.
Well, I can understand if they want to. First, fuck this Spike section right here.
Yes, this section is horrible. This section is so not fun to play. This is probably the worst section.
I can't get that gear to go right, and I don't know how it's supposed to work.
Oh, here's how. Here, you're supposed to hold the direction in the direction the arrow's pointing. And
I
then
do that, and it doesn't work.
Well, look. What you have to do before we get back into that rebooting topic, what you have to do is that when you get on the gear and you see the arrow, let go of the analog stick, take a breather for a second, and then hold the direction you need to go. Otherwise, the game won't respond enough.
It'll bounce you off the thing for some arbitrary fucking reason. Thank you. Whoa, wrong way.
Wrong way. Stop.
That happens. That happens a lot with the Spike in this game.
It happens in colors too.
It's like, well, yeah, but it happens a lot more often because the control is more finicky.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, ironically, this controls better than Sonic Colors.
You want to know something that really pissed me off about the Spike? Okay, after you spin dash, you need to like jump again or change walls before you can spin dash a second time, or stop or something, because you won't be able to spin dash until you stop moving or jump or change walls. If for some reason it just doesn't let you. That wasn't a problem in Colors.
It feels
like
stiff.
I could spin dash.
Colors is awesome.
But you know what really helped the Spike in that game? The double jump.
Yeah,
Lack of double jump just really fucks up your jumping control while you're with the Spike.
I fell asleep. Oh god, it's over. Thank God.
Alright, we've completed every stage in the game, so the rest we have to do are shitty side quests and boss fights. I do kind of feel like we're selling the game short in the side quests, because most of what Johnny is showing off are the shitty ones. There are actually by far more good side quests than bad ones. It just so happens that all the quests that are bad, well, most of them involve Sonic's shitty friends. Who knew?
Well, I've been. Is it true that cutscenes like that one will change depending on who you finish last? So if we did modern second, would he be walking out of Planet Wisp?
Actually, I think so.
That's nice. Nice little touch.
Oh, it is a nice little touch.
Oh my god, air dash.
Well, what you were saying about the side quests, yeah, some of them are kind of frustrating, but I feel like a lot of them are sort of uninspired. I mean, like,
why the fuck is the bee here?
Why the fuck am I connected to the bee, Jesus?
Bees. My God.
What were you saying, Ted?
I just said that a lot of the side quests are sort of uninspired. I mean, 2 missions per every zone are just you doing the time trial ghost from Mario Kart. Really, that's it. And I mean, like, so it's essentially replaying the game again, but under a time limit. And I'm
With that said, fuck Rooftop Run's classic doppelganger.
Actually, I didn't have too much trouble with that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well then, fuck Planet Wisp classic doppelganger.
In that case,
I didn't have much trouble with that either. The doppelganger missions are the easiest in the game.
My internet dropped for like a minute.
So I thought you went to sleep.
No, I'm back.
Wait, are we still recording?
Yes.
Ironic how now we're having our Skype fuck-ups. They've been gone for quite a number of times.
I'm glad that was recorded.
Well, I don't hit the pause button until we stop talking, so...
So everyone shut the fuck up.